Well, hello, educators, colleagues, thinking partners. It's Renee. I'm Renee, and I'm super excited to talk to you a little bit about 5 tips. I'm going to see if I can get 5 tips into this short meeting for thinking about how to launch your year in simple success, setting up students to be fully independent in their reading. There are several bodies of research out there that talk about the importance of getting kids to read books they can and want to read. That means to us as workshop teachers that we're giving kids choice to pick books that they want to read and that they can read. They can do high levels of accurate, fluent, and comprehensive reading. So let's think a little bit together on how we can design the first couple of days, having a workshop the very first day of school for kids to read independently and what that looks like. I want to invite you to think a little bit about setting up students for success to read on that very first day of school. And that might mean closing your classroom library and opening mini libraries called browse bins. We close our classroom library because we haven't really introduced all of the routines and rituals around the classroom library. And we want to give ourselves time to get to know all the individual humans and readers in our classroom community. Consider creating browse bins and disperse them across and throughout your room at safe spaces so kids can be physically distanced safely but socially connected. Here you see a picture of a browse bin that has high interest, low levels of books. We can have a myriad of different text types, so it's open genre, thinking about anything from recipe cards, recipes, to directions to games, to Lego directions, encyclopedias, picture books, lookbooks, anything you can possibly imagine, catalogs that of course are appropriate, and thinking a little bit about, I said that because once I put a catalog out and there was like an underwear habit in it. So just kind of check to make sure kids will stay high interest, eyes on print those very first few days of school. While students are browsing in their browse bin, we want to get a chance to get to know them as people and as readers. So thinking about the kinds of notes you'll take to take in the quote unquote data, all that information, and keeping track of it. If you are a teacher in grades 3, 4, and 5, and you might have a copy of the Teacher's Toolkit written by Gravity Goldberg and myself, there are lots of examples in Chapter 11 of the professional book supporting independent readers, 25 answers to your most frequently asked questions about conferring. So on chapter 11, you can see pictured here, we have lots of examples of note-taking forms. If you're a teacher in K1 and 2, you can just simply borrow these note-taking strategies. You might also create something as simple as this, just a piece of paper with a grid on it and kids' names and a place for you to write the date and something you may have learned about that reader as you either watch them or listen to them talk to a fellow reader or talk to you about their reading. One of the main goals for the launching season of our workshop time, our independent reading, is getting to know students as people and as readers. And who are we going to be as a collaborative community? In the Teacher's Toolkit for Independent Reading, again, on page 32, Gravity and I provide a reading inventory. You can take a look at that and make it your own and use it as an interview. Perhaps you're interviewing the readers and writing in the questions, or maybe if you think students might enjoy kind of having a copy of this themselves and writing the answer, they could use this questionnaire to talk to fellow readers in the classroom, reader to reader, peer peer, or to you as well, in getting to know you conversations. If you teach children who are younger or pre-print or in various stages of learning language in the English language, you could perhaps lean on creating more of an emoticon type of reading identity survey. There's one pictured here. You can make this your own. I think the idea is to think through how are we giving kids a chance to think about their own life as a person, a student, and a reader, and how are they getting to know one another, and how are we, as the lead learner, getting to know the students in our classroom. The last question I want to talk a little bit about is answering perhaps, well, what do I teach? So if you have the Teacher's Toolkit for Independent Reading, there is a resource that says your everyday guide to conferring with third, fourth, or fifth grade readers. You'll find here, you can see here on page 5 of that resource, Gravity and I give you a year at a glance. If you don't have this resource and you work with me, there's a really good chance that you have a year at a glance overview. So take a look back at that and think about what was the essential question that you and your team came up with and what might be some goals. You can take a look at this as a mentor or an inspiration, or you can email me and we can think through what you want that first set of goals to be in your launch. Normally it's non-academic, with the goal being getting used to one another as a community, building a safe space to learn, and routines and rituals. Let me know how it goes. Stay in touch. Here's my email. It's going to be great. Have fun and keep reading, writing, and thinking together. Can't wait till we study again together soon. Take care.